Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Trails Radio Show. Thank you for joining us this evening. Today, join me and my special guest, actor Mr. Timothy J. Cox. Thank you, and join us in a minute. Okay, Tim, my first question to you is, where did your career begin? How did you become an actor?
It was really by accident. I was in the 8th grade, and they were having auditions during the school day for the school play. They were actually having the auditions during the day, and the auditions fell on math class, which I hated. So I auditioned for the play to just get out of math class, and 30 years later, I'm still doing it. So thank God for hating math class, I guess.
I'm right with you. I wasn't good in math in school either.
I was terrible at it. I've never been good. The only really good math class I ever took was a class on how to balance your checkbook, and I thought that was the most effective math class I ever took.
Yeah. I was much more of an English literature guy. I enjoyed that very much. Yeah. And then I did theater in school, throughout school, and I loved that, and I been doing theater acting ever since that, and then
wonderful.
Did the radio show, still doing that, and doing voiceovers stuff from time to time, so I've done it all, I guess.
It's nice. That's where you learn. In the theater, that's where you learn about, being a part of an ensemble, and you learn to play, many types of different roles, and you learn about if you work backstage and you run the lights, and it's just, you just can't beat that experience, and you just get great life experience from working a life in the theater.
Definitely, and I think theater teaches you about life. You kind of learn a little bit with that.
You sure do. My experiences as an actor starting out on the stage, when I was, when you're young, you go through your teens where you're shy and you're awkward and, you're kind of uncertain about yourself. When I went out on stage, that shyness, that uncertainty was all gone. And, because when you can stand out in front of an audience and sing a song, do a play, you get the audience in the palm of your hand, and you get them laughing, or you get them thinking, and there's really nothing better than having that. So you do, it does transfer over into life. You do very important life lessons you learn from that.
Definitely. And you've done theater, you've done film, television, you've done all of that.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. It's the great thing about being a character actor is that, my philosophy has always been, you have to enjoy the journey, because, this is a business where it's just fraught with so much rejection. You hear no, 99 times before you hear yes once, and you just have to enjoy and always look at it as if you're still a student. I've been doing this for 30 years, but I don't know everything, and I don't go into that. I go into with the mentality that I'm still a student at this, and I think that keeps you sane.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry if you hear a noise in the background. That's my clock, but
sure, no worries.
Yeah, it keeps you grounded. It keeps you sane, and being a character actor myself, I find it's very interesting. It's more, character roles are more, they're best written more than character lead roles, I find. They're more
absolutely
interesting.
Absolutely. I've always, even from when I was really young, I just always gravitated to character supporting roles. Maybe in the beginning, it has a lot to do with how I look, I was playing parent roles when I was in my 20s, and that's kind of been the secret to any longevity that I've had, is play character roles, play parents, teachers, principals, shrinks, because they always add color to any story. There are actors who aspire and love to play the Hamlets, the Othellos. Give me the Gravedigger. Give me Polonius, because there's I don't know. There's just so much there, but with like they may not have as much stage time, but it's kind of exciting. It's a nice little challenge for the actor to go in and okay, I have this. The Gravedigger has one scene in Hamlet, and you go in and that the actor's job is to score the points. I've always equated being a character actor like being a designated hitter in baseball, or the sixth man on a basketball team, the clutch player comes in, scores the points at a clutch moment, and then they go and sit back down on the bench.
Yeah, definitely. And I've done a lot in theater, and I've done a lot of character roles, and I've done a few Shakespeare stuff, but the characters I've played were, character roles. I was the Lord Capulet in Romeo and Juliet, And,
very good. That's an excellent part.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And my favorite play I did, it's not Shakespeare. It was the musical Phantom of the Opera. And I love that musical. It's probably one of my favorites. And I had a small role in that. And they took this role from the movie, but they adapted it in the play. It was the role of, in the beginning, where the character Raoul, the Vicomte de Chagny, he's the old guy in the beginning, in the wheelchair. I played kind of the old characters, the
wonderful,
infirmed characters, or the the different oddball kind of characters,
Yeah, the more the more things that you can do. I mean, and I love playing with, how the character dresses is very important.
Definitely.
Do they wear glasses? I always try to incorporate glasses into just about every role I do. Hair. I've cut my hair for parts or dyed my hair. How the character dresses, like a good jacket or a good hat. A good pair of shoes. And it's when you put the clothes on. There's a little switch just goes off, and then you just feel like it just feels right. It's very hard to put into words, but you just know that you get the right piece of clothing or a right prop, and that it helps so much.
Definitely, props and the clothing. That I like to do roles with props or different things. And you can do a lot of improv with props. You can kind of go into this whole different world with props.
My favorite story about props: the actor Donald Pleasance.
Oh, wonderful actor!
Wonderful actor. He was known as a props actor, and what had happened is that when he would be on film, he would have props that, for example, there's a sequence in the Frank Langella Dracula where he played, I forget the character he played, but there's a sequence in the film where he was eating candy or something like that, and he was making noise, and he was doing it and messing up the continuity because when he was starting out early in his career, he would always be cut out of final films. So he would do stuff that would guarantee, by the time he had reached Dracula, or he would do stuff that would guarantee, with props that would guarantee that would not be cut out of the film. Which was, it's kind of a rascally way to keep yourself on camera, but it's very, very clever and wonderful use of props because he was known for being like a master of it. And of course, he was just such a marvelous actor. All you got to do is just look at his resume and just the long list of great things that he did in film and in theater.
Oh, definitely. One of the great actors. He did the James Bond movie, You Only Live Twice, and the Halloween series. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I learned a lot from character actors because I do another show that it's like a documentary show about character actors who are no longer with us, and I narrate their life and career. And It's interesting. I learned a lot from great character actors. My favorite actor, who I admired very much and was one of my inspirations to get into theater, was a great character actor named Max von Sydow. And,
one of the greats. One of the greats.
Definitely.
What a presence.
Oh, yeah.
What a presence.
And,
I mean, he's one of those actors that, let's see, The Seventh Seal came out in, 1957, and he worked, and he never stopped working, and in everything, and he was always a presence. And, of course, people remember, like,
The Exorcist.
And I remember 3 Days of the Condor. And he was
Robert Redford,
marvelous. Yeah. Oh, it was marvelous in that. And of course, all Pele the Conqueror, and all of the films he did with Ingmar Bergman, and he just goes on and on of just the wonderful and the variety of the things that he did. He could play good guys and bad guys and just be marvelous. So, and you chose good company. Yeah, I saw that you're doing a show where you're talking to Anthony Quinn's son.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's marvelous. Now that was an actor. My God.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
What a presence. We could do a couple of hours on him.
Yeah, we're kind of talking about actors instead of your career. We're kind of.
But you know what? Like a lot of the actors, everything that I learned as an actor, I went to school and I learned about acting from in high school and college. But the best experience that I ever had was watching actors. Like my idol is Jack Lemmon, and I always loved Jack Lemmon and Spencer Tracy and Jason Robards and Albert Finney and
definitely
Gene Hackman. And you learn just different schools, different approaches to the work of just you watch an actor's the progression of their work through the many, many years. And I regret that I never saw Jason Robards or Maureen Stapleton, who was another favorite of mine, that I never saw them on stage. they were as electrifying I'm sure they were marvelous, all of the stories that I've ever heard, that they were excellent. But these were actors that I aspired to be. Like, these were actors that, yes, many of them were, movie stars or what have you, but really what they did is that they were always working actors. And for me, it's never been about, if there's anything that I could impart to anyone, if you're going to be an actor, it cannot be about making money. If there is anything else that you can do that you can make money, do it. Because acting, and it's a question these days in the social media market, do you want to be an actor or do you want to be a TikTok star? Because obviously there's a really big difference. If you want to be an actor, making money is going to be the furthest thing from your mind, because there are so few of us there's so many of us out there, and a lot of it's hard work and luck and timing and knowing your type. That and those are things that I've always known about myself. I've always known my type. I've always known, and I think with that helps knowing who you are, and it saves you a lot of heartache. And also, like I said, approaching this as a student, and also approaching with a sense of fun. Thornton Wilder used to say that acting, or theater rather, and I think it applies to acting as a whole, is playtime for adults. It should be play. Mm-hmm. I've never lost that sense of play, and and when this whole thing with the pandemic is over, I can't wait to get back to it.
Definitely. I tell people that because I do a lot of talks on other shows sharing my career and advice, and I tell them, like you said, it's play for adults or fun, but you have to keep in mind it's still a business, and
sure.
you have to go in with that mindset. It's a business, but once you start doing it and being the character, you can have fun. You have to make the character your own, and there's always room to learn. You never stop learning.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is also, that, you want to work with, I've been very lucky to have worked with dear friends in the theater and in film, and, we hope to get back to that, because when you work with people who know you so well, they know how to challenge you. They know how to push you. They know how to bring something out of you that you didn't think you may not have thought was within you.